My sister-in-law lied about being sick to get my money, then spent it on a luxury party. So I made sure she faced the consequences. You never think the people closest to you are capable of such blatant betrayal until it happens. When it does, the blow isn't just emotional, it's financial. I'm sitting here at my computer, still trying to wrap my head around the whole mess. Anna is one of those people who always seems to live in a constant state of crisis. Since I met her nearly a decade ago, she's been a magnet for emergencies, each requiring the immediate attention, and often the money, of everyone around her. At first, I chalked it up to her personality. She's just dramatic, I told myself. But over time, I saw the pattern. She's my husband's younger sister, and they've always been close. As her big brother, he feels a strong sense of responsibility toward her. No matter what trouble she gets into, Anna somehow twists the narrative to make herself the victim. And for the longest time, I didn't let it bother me, her problems stayed hers. Until recently, when her chaos bulldozed its way into my life. A few months ago, Anna showed up at our house, red-eyed and clutching a folder of medical documents. She claimed she needed to talk to us urgently. My husband and I let her in, concerned despite everything. After all, she's family. Through trembling words and what I can only describe as an Oscar-worthy performance, Anna revealed she had been diagnosed with a rare and severe medical condition. She needed immediate, expensive treatment to survive. As proof, she pulled out a stack of medical papers that, looking back, I should have examined more carefully. She explained she'd already pawned jewelry, sold personal belongings, and emptied her savings, but it wasn't enough. Then came her final, heart-wrenching plea. "You're my last hope." That night, my husband and I debated the situation. I wasn't convinced. Something about the story felt off. But my husband couldn't bear the thought of abandoning his little sister in what seemed like a time of need. "If something happens to her and we didn't help, I'll never forgive myself," he said. So, despite my reservations, I relented. After all, she was family, and maybe she really was just having an awful run of luck. We wired her a significant amount of money, enough, she claimed, to cover the initial treatment. My husband even offered to help her find additional funding options if necessary. But she assured us this would take care of everything. Anna cried, thanked us over and over, and promised to keep us updated on her recovery. Then she left. For the next few weeks, we barely heard from her. My husband sent her several messages to check in, but her replies were vague. "I'm exhausted," she'd say. "I'd rather not talk about it." 2 weeks had passed since we gave Anna the money. Everything had been suspiciously quiet. My husband, ever the concerned older brother, had been messaging her every few days to check on her treatment. But her responses were all over the place. One day, she'd claim she had specialist appointments, and the next, she'd say she was waiting on test results. There were no photos, no receipts, no real evidence that she was undergoing any kind of treatment. It was starting to get under my skin, but I held my tongue. My husband trusted her, and the last thing I wanted was to start a fight over something I couldn't yet prove. Then came the night. It was a Saturday evening, and after a long, exhausting week at work, I was relaxing at home. My husband was watching a movie in the living room, while I scrolled aimlessly through Instagram. That's when I saw it. A story that felt like a slap across my face. The first clip showed a lavishly decorated table, complete with candles, fresh flowers, and a tablecloth that practically screamed expensive. The tag on the post confirmed it was Anna's account. I frowned, trying to make sense of it. Maybe she was just a guest at someone's event, I thought, attempting to brush it off. But as I swiped to the next story, my confusion turned to disbelief. The next clip revealed a professional DJ in a sleek booth, spinning tracks under strobe lights for a packed dance floor. Guests in formal wear swirled around, laughing and dancing. Another swipe revealed a banquet. Plates arranged so artistically they could have come straight from a Michelin-starred kitchen. And then there she was. Anna stood in the middle of it all, draped in a stunning, shimmering red dress that probably cost more than my entire year's clothing budget. She was laughing, dancing, and posing for photos like she was the star of the night. Each video, each photo made my stomach twist tighter. This wasn't some casual gathering. This was a luxury event that didn't fit at all with the story of someone supposedly drowning in medical debt and begging for help. I stood up abruptly, my phone clutched in my hand, and marched straight to the living room where my husband was glued to his movie. I held up my phone without saying a word. My husband's expression shifted as he watched the videos, moving from confusion to disbelief. This is from tonight?" he asked, his voice unsteady. I nodded silently. I could see the battle in his mind, the shift from denial to frustration happening in real time. "There has to be some kind of explanation," he muttered, though even he didn't seem convinced by his own words. But I was done giving Anna the benefit of the doubt. A wave of anger washed over me as I realized just how thoroughly we'd been manipulated. While my husband struggled to process what he was seeing, I grabbed my phone and fired off a message to Anna. My hands shook with anger as I typed, Anna, can you explain what's going on? I just saw your Instagram stories." I hit send and waited. Each passing minute felt like an eternity. My husband urged me not to jump to conclusions, but the anger simmering beneath his calm facade was unmistakable. Finally, Anna replied. Her message was short, dismissive, and almost mocking in its indifference. "Oh, it was just a small gathering with friends. I needed something to distract me after these tough weeks." My eyes widened in disbelief. A small gathering? DJs? Luxury catering? And professional decor do not scream small gathering. Taking a deep breath, I typed another message, this time letting my frustration show. "With what money, Anna? The last time we spoke, you said you were broke and needed help for your treatment." Her response came almost instantly, as if she had rehearsed it. "It wasn't as expensive as it looked, and some friends covered parts of it. You don't need to worry about it." At that moment my patience ran out. Her casual tone, her complete lack of remorse. It all confirmed what I had feared. She had lied to us. She took the money we gave her, money meant to save her life, and used it to throw herself a lavish party. My husband suggested we confront her in person. "Maybe there's more to the story," he said, though he looked as unsure as I felt. But I knew better. This wasn't just a misunderstanding or a bad decision. Anna had lied, manipulated us, and used our kindness for her own indulgence. Worse, she didn't seem to feel even a shred of guilt about it. That night I barely slept. My mind raced with questions. Was there ever any illness at all? How much of her story was fabricated? What else had she lied about? One thing was crystal clear. Anna wasn't going to get away with this. If she thought she could exploit us without consequences, she was about to find out just how wrong she was. After what Anna did, I decided to find the truth myself. Starting with her Instagram, I noticed several photos and videos from the party tagged by other attendees. Curious, I opened every tag. To my surprise, many had public profiles, and their posts were revealing. There were pictures of extravagant decorations, videos of the DJ, and comments praising Anna for hosting the event of the year. One even said, "This outdid your party from last year. How do you always pull it off?" That comment stopped me cold. She's done this before? Determined, I dug deeper and found the venue tagged in several posts. A high-end downtown event hall. A quick search confirmed it wasn't cheap. Renting it alone cost more than many people's monthly income. I decided to call the venue, posing as someone interested in booking a similar event. Casually, I asked about the recent party Anna hosted. The receptionist happily confirmed it was a private, high-end event with a hefty bill that had been paid in full. How could she afford this? Armed with screenshots and notes, I confronted my husband. At first, he resisted, suggesting someone else might have paid. But when I showed him comments praising Anna for her effort and the proof from the venue, his disbelief turned into shock. "We need to confront her," he said, clearly shaken. Though I doubted it would help, I agreed. The next day, we showed up unannounced at her apartment. Anna greeted us with a smile far too bright for someone in a supposed crisis. The first thing I noticed in Anna's apartment was the mountain of shopping bags stacked in the corner. Luxury brands, all glaringly out of place for someone who'd claimed to be destitute just weeks earlier. We sat down, and my husband wasted no time. "Anna, we need to talk about the money we lent you and the party you threw. None of this adds up." Anna's face flickered with surprise, but she quickly recovered. "I told you it was a small thing. I didn't spend much. My friends pitched in. Couldn't hold back anymore." "Small?" "Anna, I spoke to the venue. I know exactly how much it cost and I know you paid the bill. I've seen the photos and the comments. Stop lying. For the first time, her composure cracked. Okay, yes, I spent some of the money, but only part of it. I needed it, and I don't understand why you're making such a big deal out of this. A big deal? I shot back, my voice rising. You lied about being sick to get money from us, then used it for a luxury party. This isn't a misunderstanding, Anna. It's a scam. My husband, who had been quiet until now, finally spoke. Are you saying there was never an illness? That it was all a lie? Anna stumbled over her excuses, mentioning depression and needing something to cheer herself up. But it was clear. She had no real remorse. The confrontation ended with Anna in tears, not of guilt, but of knowing she'd been caught. As we left, my husband was devastated, while I was fueled by determination. This wasn't over. A week later, the mood at home was still heavy. My husband wrestled with the betrayal, but I couldn't shake my anger. If Anna thought she could use us and walk away unscathed, she was in for a rude awakening. I began preparing carefully. First, I contacted the bank for detailed records of the transfer we'd made to Anna. Then, I reviewed every message she'd sent about her illness, documenting every lie. I knew I'd need strong evidence, so I also started digging into Anna's finances. Despite her manipulative nature, she had always been careless in other areas. A mutual friend confirmed this when I reached out. A mutual friend who worked with Anna revealed that she quit her job months ago, claiming she needed to focus on her health. But instead of saving money, she talked about parties, dinners, and shopping sprees. Digging deeper on social media, I found another friend's post thanking Anna for hosting yet another extravagant event weeks earlier. It wasn't as large as the party we discovered, but it confirmed a pattern. Anna had been funding this lifestyle for months, and it likely wasn't just with the money we lent her. As I compiled more evidence, my husband finally spoke up. He admitted he could no longer protect Anna. Despite his pain, he agreed it was time to take more serious action. We consulted a lawyer, detailing everything, from Anna's initial lie to the proof we had gathered. The lawyer believed we had a case but warned it would hinge on proving Anna never intended to use the money for treatment. Then he suggested we investigate further, particularly if Anna had misused our information elsewhere. That's when I discovered something chilling. Reviewing my financial records, I found an attempted application for a line of credit in my name. It had been rejected due to incomplete documentation, but the timing and access to my details pointed clearly to Anna. Though I couldn't prove it outright, the connection was too strong to ignore. This discovery strengthened our resolve to pursue legal action. Meanwhile, tensions with my mother-in-law escalated. When she learned we were considering a lawsuit, she was outraged. "How can you do this to your own family?" she cried, refusing to acknowledge the deliberate harm Anna had caused. Adding fuel to the fire, Anna began spreading her version of the story, painting us as villains among friends and family. Instead of reconciling or apologizing, she tried to turn others against us. Anna doubled down, accusing us of trying to ruin her life over a misunderstanding. She even had the nerve to claim we were attacking her because we didn't understand her emotional struggles. Her audacity only fueled my determination to see this through. If Anna thought she could manipulate us without consequences, she was sorely mistaken. With our lawyer's help, we drafted a formal letter demanding repayment of the loan, warning her that legal action would follow if she didn't comply. We sent it via certified mail to ensure she received it. Though we knew this could escalate the conflict, we were prepared to take that risk. Anna had to understand her actions had repercussions. 2 weeks passed and, predictably, there was no response. While my husband clung to optimism, I suspected her silence meant she was plotting something, and I was right. Soon, our phones were flooded with calls and messages, not from Anna, but from relatives and friends who had clearly heard her side of the story. She was spinning a narrative that we were persecuting her unfairly, heartlessly demanding money from someone still recovering from a serious medical condition. Some relatives even accused us of being cruel and unsupportive. One particularly bold in-law messaged, "Don't you think you're overreacting? It's just money, and Anna's been through a lot." That last line almost made me throw my phone across the room. Exasperated, my husband called his mother to set the record straight, but the conversation quickly went south. True to form, my mother-in-law sided with Anna, brushing it off as a mistake. "Everyone makes mistakes," she said. "You don't have to take this so far." Listening from across the room, I couldn't stay silent. I grabbed the phone and said, as calmly as I could, "Mistakes? This wasn't a mistake. This was a calculated lie to steal from us." There was a long pause before she replied coldly, "Maybe you should learn to be more understanding. Family should come first." That was the end of the call for me. I hung up, knowing nothing would change her mind. As the family drama escalated, Anna added fuel to the fire by posting a vague message on social media. Some people would rather destroy relationships than resolve things like adults. Sad. But life goes on. She didn't mention names, but the comments were clear. Her followers had taken her side. Supportive replies like, "Don't let them get you down," piled up, leaving no doubt about where most people stood. Comments like, "You're stronger than them," and "Toxic people always try to bring you down," flooded Anna's social media post, fueling her manipulation. But instead of letting it fester, I saw an opportunity to set the record straight. With my husband's support, we crafted a clear and factual message, attaching screenshots of our conversations with Anna and evidence of her lavish party. We sent it to the family's WhatsApp group with a firm statement. "We understand some of you may have doubts, but here are the facts. Anna lied about her medical condition to get money from us, which she used to fund a luxury party. She's been twisting the narrative to paint us as villains, but we won't tolerate defamation. While we value our family, we cannot overlook her actions. This will be resolved legally if necessary." The reactions were mixed. Some family members offered support, admitting they hadn't known the full story. Others stayed silent, while my mother-in-law and a few die-hard defenders continued to stand by Anna despite the evidence. Privately, a cousin messaged me, "Thank you for clearing this up. I've always thought Anna was manipulative, but this takes the cake." Her words were a small comfort amid the fallout. Our lawyer informed us that Anna's lack of response to the formal letter gave us grounds to proceed with a lawsuit. My husband, hesitant at first, finally agreed. This wasn't just about the money anymore, it was about standing up for what was right. Once the legal process began, Anna broke her silence. She sent a message dripping with sarcasm and blame. "You really had to take it this far? We could have handled this privately, but you're choosing to destroy the family. Don't expect me to pay you back now." Her response only confirmed our decision to let the lawyers handle everything. Anna had no intention of owning up to her actions. As we focused on building a strong case, her lies began catching up with her. A mutual acquaintance revealed that Anna was struggling to maintain her lifestyle. Friends who once flocked to her extravagant parties were distancing themselves, likely because she could no longer keep up appearances. Even some family members who initially supported her began to doubt her after seeing our message. It felt satisfying, in a small way, to see her web of deception start to unravel. After we formally filed the lawsuit, everything changed. Anna, who once seemed arrogant and untouchable, began to crack under the pressure. Her attempts to manipulate the family and spread her skewed version of events were no longer working. The evidence we shared had left a mark on her reputation. While she still had staunch supporters like my mother-in-law, most of the family had started pulling away from her. Ironically, in trying to save her image, Anna only dug herself a deeper hole. A few days ago, we received a call from one of her close friends. Frustrated with Anna's lies, she confessed that Anna had been asking for money from several people, claiming it was for an urgent legal issue caused by us. The friend initially believed her but grew suspicious when Anna couldn't provide clear answers about where the money was going or why she couldn't turn to her family. After hearing rumors about the lawsuit, the friend confronted Anna. In a desperate attempt to maintain control, Anna accused us of carrying out a personal vendetta. But her friend didn't buy it and decided to tell us everything. We added this new information to the case, further strengthening our position. Meanwhile, Anna missed the deadline to formally respond to the lawsuit, giving us a significant legal advantage. As her personal problems mounted, Anna's glamorous lifestyle began to collapse. A reliable source informed us that she tried organizing another party, but many people declined the invitation. Word of her financial troubles and deceit had spread, and those who once flocked to her now saw her as a liability. Even her closest friends had distanced themselves, leaving her increasingly isolated. The turning point came when the court issued an order for Anna to repay the money she owed us. Though we knew it was unlikely she could pay it all immediately, the judgment was a decisive blow. Along with the repayment order, the judge imposed additional penalties for damages due to her fraudulent behavior, further worsening her financial situation. Then, one afternoon, as I was reviewing documents at home, I received an unexpected message from an unknown number. It was Anna. The tone of Anna's message was unlike anything I'd seen from her before. Gone was the arrogance and disdain. Instead, it read, "I need to talk to you. Please give me a chance to make things right. I can't handle this anymore." My first reaction was disbelief. After all the damage she'd done, she thought she could fix everything with a simple conversation? My husband and I debated whether to respond. He, still hurt but holding on to some shred of hope, thought we should at least hear her out. I was less convinced, suspecting this was yet another manipulative ploy. In the end, we agreed to meet her, but only on our terms, in a public place to avoid any dramatics. Anna arrived late as expected. When she finally appeared, she looked nothing like the confident woman who had once lied to us so effortlessly. She was a shadow of herself, her posture slouched, her eyes hollow. Sitting across from us, she began speaking in a tone that was almost pleading. She admitted she couldn't pay us back because she was completely broke, but insisted she wanted to make things right. Her words were a mix of excuses, tears, and vague promises. I let her talk, but in my mind I'd already made up my mind. This was another desperate attempt to wriggle out of the mess she'd created. When she finished, I spoke, my voice cold and firm. "This isn't about fixing things, Anna. It's about you taking responsibility for your actions. You lied to us, stole from us, and destroyed any trust we had in you. What you're facing now isn't our fault. It's the result of your choices." Anna tried to respond, but my husband, who had been silent until now, cut her off. His voice was steady but full of finality. "There's nothing more to say. The court has ruled. Do the right thing for once in your life." We left without looking back, leaving Anna sitting alone, facing the weight of her own actions. Walking away, I felt a mix of emotions: relief, satisfaction, and a tinge of sadness for what this had done to our family. But deep down, I knew we had made the right choice. This wasn't just about the money. It was about protecting ourselves and setting firm boundaries. From that day forward, we cut all contact with Anna. The family remained divided, but I no longer cared what her supporters thought. I'd learned an invaluable lesson. Family doesn't mean tolerating abuse or manipulation. Anna tried to play us, but in the end, she lost everything.